So recently I acquired this really interesting piece of networking hardware from the 90s. This is an HP EtherTwist Hub PLUS. I immediately thought this was super interesting because if you look at the back, you can see that it has ports for AUI and 10-base-2 Ethernet, but then it has a giant, almost like parallel or SCSI looking thing, and it's labeled Twisted Pair ports 1 through 12. And I'm like, what? What is that? How does that even work? Apparently, there's like a giant white brick or something that you would plug into that, and that's how you would get your Twisted Pair Ethernet ports, your RJ45 Ethernet ports. And I immediately thought that was really cool because I've never seen anything like that on any sort of Ethernet hub. This is not really a switch, this is a hub. The difference between a switch and a hub is that a hub will still connect a bunch of devices together onto a network, but there's no switching involved, meaning that there's collisions and all that kind of crap. While a switch, on the other hand, not only connects all the devices together, but it does it in a way where there's no collisions. So how I got my hands on this hub in particular is a very interesting story. So this was in a gun safe for probably, I want to say, about 15 years. And here's kind of how that all went down. So this hub originally did belong to somebody who was part of my extended family. For the sake of this story, I'm going to call him Bob. Bob was doing contract work for a bunch of IT companies back in the early 2000s, pulling cable, selling network systems, whole bunch of really cool stuff. And he was also into old hardware. So after working in that field for quite a long time, his back started to really give out on him. He was in a lot of pain, but he was actually getting better as his doctor prescribed the medication that was really working out for him. And then I'm not really sure what happened, but his doctor changed, and so did the medication that he was taking. And this medication took a real toll on him, like it was really bad. So then he took his own life, leaving a gun safe with a lot of stuff left behind. So fast forward to a couple weeks ago, his son came over here, and we started looking at the gun safe that he left behind. Nobody knew the combination, and the combination wasn't anything that we thought it was. So we went to Harbor Freight, grabbed the Sawzall, and went to town, and we ended up breaking into the safe and got everything out. In there was actually a ton of stuff. A bunch of cables, some old Motorola UHF radios, a Motorola Radius P200 and an MT1000, full MDC, and both of those, I believe, belonged to the Cincinnati Police Department. And there was a couple other things in there. There was a laptop that did not have a hard drive in it, a ton of ammo, of course, it's a gun safe, and a really cool collection of knives. In there also was an 8-port rack mount KVM switch with all of the cables, and this thing, this HP EtherTwist Hub PLUS. Just looking at the outside, you can tell that there are probably water damage, and I don't know if any of the inside is damaged at all, so I wanted to break this thing open and see if there's anything wrong inside, if we can get this thing working. Because I really like this hub. I think it's really cool, and I want to use it in another 90s networking project that I'm working on, so I thought this would be the perfect addition to something like that. And it's kind of a cool looking thing on the front, so yeah, let's get in here and see what we can do.
This is IONIC1K.
Good evening.
Okay, so first off, is this oil? Can this easily come off? I think maybe it can, but I'm gonna worry about that later. Alright, so this thing is quite rusted, and you can see that the front ears are, yeah, you know, all the paint's coming off the front left ear here, but the one on the right seems fine. Yeah, this thing has definitely seen better days. Okay, let's get that ear off. Oh man, that's gonna be hard. Yeah, that screw is gonna be too hard to get out. Let me... Course, dude. Look at this. The case screws are Torx. Course, man. Alright, I got the ears off. All of that stuff that's on the desk is from this. This is in pretty bad shape. So now I must go find my Torx. Yeah, that's right. Also, one thing I thought on this side, which was freaking wild, you can see that there's an entire huge area that is discolored. All of this is this gray color, and that's what it's supposed to look like. That's kind of funny. So I really don't know what to expect on the inside of here. I'm hoping that it's not bad in here at all, and I can just kind of fire it up, see if it works. But I won't be able to do anything with Twisted Pair because I don't have the little brick that would connect right here to connect anything to the Twisted Pair. Really had to force that one to come apart. Jeez, I kinda messed it up, but okay, so this is the inside. The PCB is a lot shorter than I thought it was. That means we're probably saved. None of the electronics are probably harmed. The rust is really bad, especially up in that corner over there. Look at those giant HP chips. They are thick. Like, look at that. Holy. Okay, so, with this all open and stuff, I think I can probably go ahead and turn this on. Let's see if it actually works or does anything. There are 3 indicator lights on the front. There is fault, activity, and line on. Yeah, we'll use those to see if there's anything wrong. Oh man, I grabbed this power cable thinking, you know, it was a normal power cable. I look on the other end of it. Really? Okay, let's go. Wow, that fan sucks. It's on though. I can see the activity light blinking. So far so good. I can plug it into a console really quick to see if we have any output, but it's looking pretty good so far. Gonna unplug it. So at the back here, our console port is a full-size DB25 RS-232 serial port. I just happen to have a brand new old stock DB25 to DB9 adapter, so I will use this. We'll connect this thing to the Linux machine that I have here and see if we can get some console output. So we're on /dev/ believe that would be, here, hold on. We're on, yeah, TTY USB 0. Okay, we're up. Plug her back in. Okay, so far not so good. No console output, but, you know, it could also be that I just can't use that adapter. Alright, I think that's it. No console output. Oh yeah, what do the lights on the back say? Here. Trying to hook this up here to my other 10-base-2 hub. So instantly upon plugging that in, I saw an act light come up, even though this thing is not even on. So let me turn this on. Okay, you can see AUI is lit up and ThinLAN is lit up. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on, I got the perfect thing for the AUI. Oh yes! I got one of these. So this thing, if you plug it in right here, is it upside down? Oh, dang it. Oh man, one, it's upside down, and two, these things on the side are being a little cucks. They're not letting me in. God damn it. Can I just steal the drop cable I'm using from my Indigo 2? Okay, so I stole the drop cable from my Indigo 2, and here I have two different types of transceivers. This is a 10-base-2 transceiver, goes to the 10-base-2 thin wire coax Ethernet thing. And this is a twisted pair RJ45 10-base-T transceiver. So I'm going to plug this in here and give it a whirl. Okay, you can't see it, but I'm plugging it into the end of the cable. Polarity. Boom. Okay. So now I have two Ethernet options here. I have 10-base-2 hooked up, and now I have 10-base-T Ethernet. You know what? Let me just take this out. And let me see if the other option will work. I need to grab a freaking Ethernet cable. Oh, I don't even have a link to number 1. Are you having a stroke, sir? Okay, now you're linked. Now I'm gonna plug you into this. How do you like that? Okay, so, I mean, the thing works. I see activity here, and then I look over here and I can see activity on both of the activity lights, the one on the front facing and the rear one. Can I make a bunch of collisions happen really quick? Plug you in here. There we go. Look at my collisions! So, this hub does work. Right now, I just need to figure out how to get my hands on the box that I need to put in here. In fact, we can go looking for that later, but yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the rest of this thing cleaned up, because this is still quite dirty. I don't really have anything on hand at the moment to deal with the rust, and then clean up some of the outside too, make this as presentable and nice as I possibly can get it. So I started disassembling the hub, and originally I was having a really difficult time with it because the rust was making everything super stuck together. But I eventually got all the case pieces apart, and I began cleaning. And that also took a really long time because whatever it was that actually got on here was super stubborn to get off. But I did end up getting it all clean, and it looks really nice. So as you can see, I was able to get some rust off of the bottom of this thing, but I don't really have anything that I can treat it or do anything like that with it. So this is pretty good enough for now, but I probably will do something with this later. The sides are also a lot better. There's still some rust there, but it is not nearly as bad as it was before. And same with the front. The front is also a lot better than it was before. So I'm going to call it good enough for now. And also this piece of metal was on the inside of this, which is the outer casing bit. And this, I mean, it wasn't that bad in the first place, but it didn't turn out too bad. So let's start by putting this back in here, and we'll get this thing reassembled. There we go, now we're back on. And here's the metal casing. This front piece just kind of clips on. There we go, just like that. Holy crap, look at that thing, it's so clean. Also, this ear is still really messed up. I will clean this one later. After a little bit, I put all the internals back in, and I put the cover back on, and screwed it all back in. Alright, I got the cover back on. It was actually kind of difficult to get that cover back on, but I got it back on. This is before, and this is after. You can kind of see a little outline here and there where the stuff used to be. It's just super stubborn to get off. It is a massive improvement from what it was. So I'm going to finish putting the rest of the screws that I have to on here. And then I'm going to plug this hub back in because I want to see if we can actually pull data through it, because I just kind of hooked it up to the network last time and didn't really do a proper test. So we'll see if we can actually pull data through this hub and see if it does its job. Alright, so it is the next day and I have an assortment of stuff here to plug this thing into the network and so we can pull data through it. I'm going to plug this thing in via 10base2 Ethernet, and I'm going to plug this in via the AUI transceiver to my Windows 98 machine, and we're going to see if we can use this to get on the internet. Check this out, guys. It's been a few days, but I got a new switch here. This is a Catalyst 3850 48-port UPoE with 12 multi-gig ports, so these can negotiate 1 gig, 2.5 gig, 5 gig, and 10 gig. So yeah, this thing is sick. But anyways, let me turn this thing on right under here. Look at that, that BNC cable is like just long enough. Alright, so I have everything plugged in. I know the cables are really bad behind here, but I mean, that's kind of old computers. What are you gonna do? So I have the Ethernet plugged in here on my Windows 98 machine, which goes up to this, which is hooked into the AUI drop cable, which will plug into this right here at the back. We have 10base2 Ethernet coming in right here. And now I'm gonna plug in the power and get this working. Also, the fan got quieter. Alright, so the thin LAN is up. We have a power and polarity light on our 10base-T transceiver. So now I'm going to turn on my 98 machine and we can get this figured out. Anyways, let's just get on Internet Explorer and see what we have going on, see if it works. Let's try the old net. Okay, we definitely do not have a link. You hear that? Hold on a second. That thing like bugs the f*** out. Look, listen. Alright, I'm not sure why we don't have a link. Let me figure something out. Okay, so here's what I'm trying. I have it coming down straight from my Catalyst to the transceiver, right into the thing, right into the hub, and then right from the back of the hub, the 10base2 Ethernet going in the back of my 98 machine. And now, let's see if this works. It always crackles on startup. I don't know why. Oh, wait, that's a good sign. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, no, it works. We're on the internet now. That's great. Let's try something else. Let's try Frog Find. Yeah, look at that. Here's Frog Find. Yeah, that's my Steam username right now, Seth in the Meth. Yeah, it's working pretty damn well. Yeah, no, it's not dropping out or anything like that. It's just kind of working. Okay, that's great. Last time we tried, there was also no serial output at all. I would like to try again with a different adapter. The thing just works, but I don't get a serial output. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Let's get in there. Okay, so I just plugged it into my Linux machine. Get that pulled up here. Well, that's when I had a Cisco router on it. Hold on a second. I gotta restart it. It's the PS2 is bugging. It wasn't getting my mouse input. I don't know why, but my desktop is black now. I don't know what happened. USB 0, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna reboot the hub and see if anything comes up on the console. Nope, nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, I plug it into my other hub and there's console output. So I mean, yeah, the hub doesn't bring out any console output, but I guess that's fine for now, I guess. We'll figure that out some other time. But the thing does work. We can get on the internet. So, thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit like, dislike if you hate 10-base Ethernet hubs, or if you hate me. If you really like this video, consider supporting me over on Patreon. I have a ton of projects that I'm working on and that'll be out soon, so definitely stay tuned.